my Flosstube friends, it's time for another episode. Hello everyone, welcome to another fun-filled Friday Flosstube weekly update with me. I am Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram. How is everybody this week? It is another Friday. Yay! Friday, Friday. And it is Friday, August the 7th, 2020. And this is Flosstube number 64 for me. Channel about cross stitch and other crafts, because I have some knitting to show you this week. Yeah. So I hope everybody has had a great week. I did. I will get into a little bit more of some life update here shortly. Let's discuss the elephant in the room. Where'd all my hair go? My hair went snip, snip, snip onto the floor of my hairdresser. I have been considering cutting my hair to make life just a little bit easier. Those of you who've been with me for a while will know that when I started my Flosstubes a little over a year ago, my hair was slightly longer than it is right now. And so I am kind of back where I was prior to starting my Flosstube journey. And yep, I didn't cut it that whole time. So that's how long my hair grew, in about a year. So little fact for you. So anywho, I ended up deciding to chop my hair, and this is the natural texture of my hair. The longer it gets, the more it pulls the wave out, and so it's awesome. Joy-Filled Little One has been needing a bit of a trim after she'd already had one this summer, and with just going to the pool, the extra chemicals that they've put in the pool this year, like the ends of her hair were like straw. And I mean, her hair was down, you know, very long. I mean, middle of her back long, and she has very thick hair, and there's a lot of it. And so she was going to get a trim, and the person that we go to is just somebody we've known for, you know, a gajillion years. She does my mom's hair also. She used to do my hair when I was younger, and she works out of her house. She has a small like salon space in the back of her house. So I felt very comfortable going there, and so we went Wednesday after school, I believe, and Joy-Filled Little One went first. And we had talked on the way there. I said, so we're just going to get like, you know, like an inch cut off. She goes, no, I'm thinking like here. And I was like, okay, so you're okay with that. You want to do your hair short. I said, let's get it to a length that you can still have it in a ponytail, or could still have it in pigtails, or still put it in a bun for dance class or whatever. And she said, okay. So we got there, and our hairdresser talked to her about it and said, well, if I cut it to here, it's going to kind of go like a pyramid because of just how thick her hair is. So she encouraged her for it to just barely break the shoulders. So like some comes here, some comes there. So she got like her hair cut off. And what's so cool is because of how long her hair was, I had noticed some wave coming in. It really waves in the back now. So I love that because I have naturally wavy hair that kind of got that way about her age. And so then it was my turn. I showed her some pictures of like what I was thinking, and snip, snip, snip. This is what I left with. Well, I mean, it's been washed and restyled. And today I did a bunch of stuff at school, putting stuff back up on walls after painting this summer, and cleaning out some cabinets and things like that. And so it kind of got a little extra frazzly, but I'm loving it. It is so easy, and I like that it frames my face nicely now that my face is slimming down a bit, and so it's just super easy. I mean, I washed it this morning. I have 2 products I put in, scrunch and go, and it's awesome. And for the most part, it looks pretty good for most of the day. So I did mention that I am back at work. For those of you who might be new, first, let me issue you a welcome. Thank you for joining me in this video. Hopefully you hear or see something you like, and maybe we'll stick around. Maybe we'll subscribe, like the video, even leave me a comment. But I am a teacher. I am an elementary learning specialist at a private school here in Fort Worth, Texas. And we reported back for teacher in service Monday. So we have had 1 week back. We have one more week before our first day of school on the 17th. And so this next week we have some more in-service trainings, things like that. And then we have extended Meet the Teacher. Normally we have one big Meet the Teacher event where everybody comes in, parents, the kids, we get pictures, and it's, you know, like an hour and a half. And our spirit stop is open so people can buy spirit shirts and things like that. Well, they decided to do that, to spread that over 2 days, and every family get their own like 45-minute time block to go and meet the teacher, hear about procedures, hear about curriculum, like all of that, just to minimize the number of folks in our building. So I will talk a little bit more because I know not everybody's super into life updates, and so I will chat a bit more about that towards the end of the video. So stick around if you're interested. But yes, I did. The biggest news is, oh, my hair's gone. And I love it. And it's super, super easy. And it was interesting because some of the comments on my couple of videos previous to this were, wow, your hair's getting so long. Nope, not anymore. It's all on, was all on the floor. But anyway, so this has been a really good week. Oh, also, to those of you who are returning, welcome back. Thanks for coming back for another video and joining me and enjoying seeing what I'm stitching on and the things that came in stash and things like that. So before we get too far into the video, let's get our hug out of the way. So if you're new, I do give a virtual hug to everybody because during these interesting times, many people don't get to have a hug on a daily basis. Virtual hug can be a close second. So I will be your close second virtual hug today. So we'll lean on in and let's get a hug in. So give yourself a hug too. Hug, 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 hug. So this week, I went back to work. I always have grand plans, and for naught, because truly by the time I come home, like this is just in general, I'm tired. And stitching is great, and I do pull out my stitching and I work a little bit. Lunchtime stitching is hit or miss at this time, just because lunch is sporadic and I'm trying to like accomplish things in between meetings and things like that. And so stitching's not plentiful this week. I do have some to show, but not a ton. So, and I'm going to chat a little bit about, I had a couple of starts. I spoke about them last week, that they were planned starts, and they did get started. And then I had a couple of whips I worked on. I have a couple of things that I'm planning to work on this weekend that I'll share with you. We'll go ahead during plans and I'll talk kind of about where I was led during my thoughts on August and my plans for August. And then I'll show you some of my stash that I got. But first thing I thought I would share is some of my stats, well, just namely my main stats from July. So in July, I'm looking for my number here, because somewhere I wrote it. I do count my stitches. I'm reflecting on the fact that I spend a lot of time marking a project to get my stitch totals for that color of highlight in my iPad. I spend time doing that could be done stitching. So I've contemplated maybe instead of stitches, starting to just track time. And then I've thought about doing none of that. So we'll see. This may evolve. The hard thing is that I do like participating in the Enchanted Stitching Challenges. They're counting events. There is a timed component, but I think I'll have to look because I've never really done super investigative looking. I know the lowest level has a time component. I don't know if there's one at every level, but if there is, that might be a workaround for me. But so, for the time being, I will share with you that in July, I stitched 13,179 stitches, give or take. Statistically speaking, there is a margin of error there. And I had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, excuse me, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I had 19 new starts, 2 restarts, and I had 3 finishes. So my 3 finishes were the June Square Dance, Noah's Giraffes, and Liberty Mouse. And the starts were plentiful. My projects that I worked on for my 100 Stitch Weekly projects were Strawberry Time by Barbara Anna, All Creatures Great and Small by Barbara Anna, Gathering Eggs by Mirabilia, Great Is Thy Faithfulness by My Big Toe Designs, and Joy Be Unconfined by The Blue Flower. And so that was jolly, joy-filled Whip You Lie. And so I did work on whips, but I also worked on some new starts. And so I'll chat more about what August is shaping up to be. But I thought first I'll show you some projects. So let's start with a new start. So actually, before I do this, I wanted to say thank you so much. Again, I've talked to y'all previously about how thank you seems so like simple and so trite, but thank you to those of you who responded to me in such a positive manner about being open and sharing my faith and what I've been sharing with you. I appreciate that so very much. There were a couple of questions, and there were a lot of well wishes for this week at school. So for that, just huge gratitude. There were questions. I have nothing on my nails right now. I am going to put some new Color Street on, but there was a question about what my nail polish was that I was wearing in last week's video. It is Color Street nail strips. I have gotten them from a friend locally whose child is in the same grade as my daughter. But I recently did a huge haul, I think in last week's video, from Jennifer Upton, Jen Upton. She does Flosstube videos. She is a stitcher, and she does Color Street. So I will once again link her Facebook group. It's a VIP Facebook group, and she posts what she currently has in stock or when there's new releases. And she does some kind of little like giveaways, like if you put your monthly nail fee, like your nail selfie, which I would get no credit because I have nothing on my nails right now. But anyway, last week I had on Color Street, Upper East Side, and it is one of my most favorite neutrals. I'm not sure if it's like a current color because I know sometimes they retire them or they're out of stock, but it's like a perfect kind of taupey gray, and I love it. But it was starting to kind of chip. I'd had it on, I think well, actually I just wanted to change. And I was pulling plastic off my plexiglass in my classroom, and so it was starting to kind of chip at the edges where my nails are kind of soft and brittle. So I needed a new set anyway. So I am going to be putting on another neutral, which is Soleil Ballet, which is a very, very, very pale pink, like kind of a peachy pink, almost a white, but it's a cream kind of a color. So that was one question. I was looking to see if there are any other ones that I wanted to talk to you about. Some of y'all talked about Zinni. I fixed my glasses. So I am wearing my trusty old glasses, and no further updates on the eye doctor other than that will just have to wait. Somebody asked about how I framed my diamond painting. So my Joybird diamond painting, I cut all of the part around the diamond painting where it's printed. I cut that off, and then it's an odd size, so I had to go up on a frame size. And literally all I did was took the interior, there's like the printed thing that comes with the frame that says like what size it is, and it'll have the name. I flipped it over because it was white on the back, and then I put I used my It's So Emma finishing tape. It was like hodgepodge on the back. Once I found center and put one and the top two and made sure it was centered, and didn't just smooth it and then put it under the glass and put the back on and closed it. Because I know that the person that asked, it was Lucy. asked, and she had said she'd only ever done it on stretcher bars, and that just worked for me. There's probably a better way to do it, but it's just what worked for me. Thank you to those of you who said that I sang beautifully. That was really sweet, and lots of, like I said, lots of well wishes. Let's see. And yes, I agree. The dry brush is amazing. This weekend I want to try using the dry brush on my shorter hair, because I think it would be really nice to kind of have a more smooth style occasionally. So let's see. I was just making sure there was nothing else. I think that was pretty much it. Lots of great comments. Lots of great comments, guys. So thank you so much for that. So anywho, I just realized one of my starts is over there. So I'm not going to pause you because I'd love to be able to film this in one segment. Plus my battery's kind of low on my iPad. So we're going to try to power through before I get a low battery indicator. So hold tight one second. I'll move y'all away and try not to make you sick. I even was thinking to myself in all of this, don't forget your other projects over there. I forgot. So this project, this bag just holds the accoutrement. But this is Long Dog Samplers. This is Pandemic. And actually, I'm a little far forward. I'm going to be one of these videos. Ba-bum-bum-ching. Ba-bum-bum-ching. Oi to the vey is what I say about this. Oi to the vey. Okay, I think we might be reset back correctly. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, this is Long Dog Samplers Pandemic. This was offered towards the end of June as a free chart for download for a week. It is still available on the Long Dog website. I will link it below. You do have to pay for it. It is huge and amazing in so many ways. It is 365 by 429. It is by far my largest project currently. It is a mega bop, big old project, and I am stitching it in a combination of Color and Cotton, Sapphire, and Typewriter. So basically the majority is Sapphire. This is not all of my floss. And Typewriter is for some of the birds and animals and other small detailing. This lives on a Q-snap lap stand in a pillowcase. And I am stitching this on 18 count BeStitchMe fabric in Outback Jack. And it's huge, it's like a bed sheet. And I have a bit of a start. So that is my start with Sapphire. This is the entirety of the first page, page 1. And it seems so tiny on this gigantic piece of fabric. So, so far I'm enjoying it. I did have one flub up on these diamonds here. I got over here and went, okay, whoa, I'm not going to line up, because I did the whole top row across and back, and then I kind of, just to set that in, to know. Instead of having one space on one of these, I had two. I was incredibly disappointing. So I had to go frog. I had to go frog some stuff. So this is literally a pillowcase, and it holds my lap stand, and it keeps dust bunnies or anything else off of it. So it kind of sits over with my projects over there. So that is Pandemic. That did get started on August 1st. I'm using just some of the hashtags that are on, I think there's some on, I know that when I started my, I swear to you, I've done this before. I think my brain is just tired. It's tired. Maybe a little oxygen deprived from lots of mask wearing. No, that isn't the truth. Okay. Moving on. I didn't start. I started this actually last week. Maybe on Friday. But I did put some more time into it. This is Season's Greetings. It's actually a series of 3, but I am doing this one right here. That is by Durene Jones. And this came from the Ultimate Cross Stitch Christmas Edition 2018, I believe. I will properly designate it below. I am stitching this on 28 count white Monaco with Victorian motto apple red, equivalent to 815, DMC 815. And I got a bit more of the full crosses. And then this was where I started with some of the back stitch. And this is fun. And I actually am stitching this in hand because this Monaco is awfully stiff and will practically stand up on its own. And it's the proper, it's a good size to stitch in hand. It doesn't fit well in my Q-snaps, and my 6x6 is in one of my other projects with the fabric on it. So I just have been stitching this in hand, but I'm enjoying this a lot. Plus you gotta have some red work. Sorry, my watch was telling me I have achieved my move goal for today. Why, thank you. Thank you, watch. All right, so another start that I had this week is I decided to start Hands-On Designs, Choose Happy. This was their Be Well and Stitch freebie. I will link it below because it is still available. And I started the hashtag Choose Happy Sal. And a couple of y'all have jumped on and started it with me, or were maybe already stitching it. And so I am so pumped. I love seeing people working through it and just posting their things. I'm gonna tell you right now, Erin 2 Martini Stitcher has the coolest conversion. It is it's bright, fun colors. And now I'm wanting to stitch it again because I'm kind of stitching pretty close to the called for. I'm gonna stitch it the way she's stitching it. I am stitching this on a 32 count, hand dyed by Stephanie Lugana in French blue. And I have a pretty good start. This lives in the other project that I showed lives in just one of those Amazon zip-up bags. This one lives in my cute Squirrel Love You More Studio Co. pouch. I will link them below. Provide some feedback for me, because I do spend I watch the whole video back to do the show notes. Tell me if you use those, because truly I put everything in there because it's what I would want to see in a video. But if people aren't using them, aren't clicking the links, aren't acquiring information from it, then I could save myself some time. I could be stitching for that hour and a half or however long my video is, and it takes me to do that. So, just a thought. Anyway, so this is what I have so far. I have Choose Happy, and I did the outlines of the flowers. This is Victorian motto Country Violets. So it looks brown, but it is like a kind of cool mauve-y purple. This is Weeks Dye Works Aztec Red. This is the called for. So I do have some more of the inner flowers. There's the hillside. There's some other like little dotty motifs somewhere in here. I do think I have enough of this fabric, and I love this fabric, by the way, because it's only taking up half. I do think I might stitch 2 of these, and I might do a second one in super bright colors. So I could maybe even have one here and one in my classroom. I thought that would be kind of nice. I don't typically stitch things twice, but this one's very quick and fun. So, yeah. I don't have much more to show, folks. All right, it did put a little bit of time into, that's a fuzzy hair string, not hair string. This is in a Love You, no. SewMuch2Luv Project Bag. And this one holds Ink Circles Rosetta. This is a for sure long-term project because I just adore it, but it's got a lot. I am doing it in a rainbow colorway, and all my borders are in Gentle Arts Cinders, which is one of my most favorite flosses ever. And I'm stitching this on a 20 count opalescent Aida from Mystic Fabrics in Snirt, which is like a really great neutral. It's like a gray beige, a grayish. And I really did not put too much into this. I'm working on this motif over here, and I just got some more stitches put in. So I am switching. Each medallion will be a different color, and I'm starting with kind of some of these really cool brownish green ones. And as you can see, so this one, the first one, is Gentle Arts Verdigris. This one is Gentle Arts Dragonfly. This one is Gentle Arts Cucumber. And then I have one more for this top row. Then when I come down here where I think this one is, I don't want to tell you wrong. So the next one on the top row after Cucumber is Island Blue, which is so pretty. It's like a turquoisey blue, but with dark green in it. Then the next row is Corn Husk, followed, which is this one. Corn Husk followed by Gold Leaf, then Butter Crunch, then Bittersweet, and then the fourth row is Coral Reef, Pomegranate, Geranium, and Pink Azalea. And then, like I said, Cinders is the edge. And literally what I did was I went to my LNS quite some time ago. This was my birthday start last year. So its birthday's coming up in October. So I would hope to get some more time into this pretty soon here because I'd like to see it a little bit further along. My goal for it, I think on WhipGo, is the top row finished by the end of the year. I don't know. I've got like over half that medallion, one more medallion, and then all of the border work. That's a lot. I might have been a little over ambitious with the sheer amount of works in progress I have. I will not share that number with anybody yet. End of the year. End of the year. Okay, I did choose to work a little bit on this project. This is the Summer House Stitchworks Calico Sampler series. So it has a chart for every letter of the alphabet, and I have them all. And I have chosen to create a phrase with mine, and it's a joy-filled life, and then it's got some spaces in there. I'm contemplating changing up what it's going to say. I haven't decided that yet because I'm still on the first letter. And what I'm thinking I'm going to change it to uses the same first letter. But anywho, I did do a complete color conversion on this to really super fun, bright. I think they're mostly Victorian mottos because I knew I needed a lot of them. Yeah, they're all Victorian mottos. So I've got kind of a fun rainbowy-ish palette. And this is not all that I have. I do have a baggie in here with all of them. And I am stitching this on 16 count, picture this plus, in quartz. And I was working on this a little bit at lunchtime today. And so I am working through the first letter, which is a letter A. And that is what I have so far. And this was one that I was considering abandoning. But I'll kind of talk a little bit here in a bit about what I did in terms of plans and things like that. And when I pulled this project back out, I was like, I can't abandon this. I adore this. I love my conversion. I love it on this pink Aida. Why would I abandon this? I think it's because it's a big project and it's going to take me a while. And I need to remind myself it's the process and it's okay. Okay, I put myself in this predicament of a bajillion whips, and eventually I will finish them. Hopefully, so that maybe 2022 I can start things again. Anywho, this lives in it is Diana bag. It is Kismet Stitches. This is some William Morris fabric, and I just adore it. So yeah, this is her larger size bag. All right, one more stitching project and that's it. This was my 100 stitch bot project for the week that the wheel chose for me. And this is a very terrible copy of this, but this is Modern Folk Embroidery Spring Dance. I am only stitching this floral border and in. I am not doing the more bulky border. One, my fabric's not wide enough. Two, I like that this one keeps it a more delicate piece overall. And really, I think, makes the girls the centered focus. I am stitching this on a piece of 18 count BeStitchMe fabric in Mummy, and with this beautiful Silks for You silk. And this is PR052, I believe. It's a really pretty variegated blue. This lives in a Garon tote bag. I believe this was the May bag of the month, and it's just perfect. I do still have this on the Q-Snap because I'm not done with it, but I realized it doesn't show you all my progress. So let me briefly take this off and show you where I am. So this is what I have so far. So my goal by the end of this week, so I am going to work on this a little bit through the weekend, I think, because I didn't get every single day 100 stitches, is to finish out this center motif. It actually moves very quickly. I'm enjoying the monochrome. There's certain things that I'm not sure that I love, but I think I'm okay with them. Like one of them being, because I stopped here, because the way that Modern Folk Embroidery did this chart is, since each side, each quadrant is the exact same, they give you one quadrant and then you rotate it to get your pattern. Well, so I stitched this completely, which is fine. Then I stitched this completely. Now I'm working on this one. Well, you can maybe see, I'm sorry, I keep bumping the tripod, that I went from a lighter section of the hank to a darker section right here. And it's a very abrupt line. So I don't know. I'm not pulling it out, but I think it will be less evident when I start to like stitch the girl that stands right here. And I think from far away, I don't notice it as much. I think it's just when I'm working on it up close or when I'm looking at it on the camera up close. But I love this piece. I think the fabric is gorgeous. With the floss is gorgeous. I mean, all I'm doing is stitching it. It's this beautiful, it's the beautiful materials are what make it. And that's what I keep trying to tell, like, Joy-Filled Little One, or somebody who's like, but your stitching is beautiful. Okay, all I'm doing is putting the X's in. A lot of it has to do with the materials that I use. Now, I will take credit when I'm doing some kind of color conversion and it turns out good, but half the time I tweak something somewhere along the line because it doesn't look the same on a skein as it does stitched on the fabric. It's all trial and error. So the other start I had, as well as it's now a current WIP, work in progress, is actually knitting. And it lives in this cute little yarn clutch bag. Got this off of Amazon actually, and I will link it below, and it's very inexpensive. It's got nice fabric on the inside, has a zip pocket on the back. It has a couple of like little slip pockets on the inside, which I'm not actually using, I don't think, for anything. And it's soft on the inside, which is nice. And then it does have these grommets. I don't use them because it's something I just have never done, but it has 2 grommets on each side where you can string your yarn through if you would like. And this is holding my, and I do not think that I have the paper. I did print out a copy of the paper because I have found, I actually had this as a PDF chart, and I have been stitching off my iPad for this, or marking off my iPad. I'm going to a paper chart for knitting. Shocking, I know. But yeah, I have decided that if I'm wanting to focus on the knitting, I don't want to have my device with me, if that makes any sense. So this is the Hitchhiker shawl pattern, which is really very pretty. It's by Martina Bem. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. And this is the one that Michelle G, Bendy Stitchy, just finished. I am knitting this with, I almost said stitching, knitting this with this awesome yarn from Thread Pickers. They don't currently have any listed. I got it during their sale last September, and this is in the colorway Mucky Pup. So it's a really kind of cool light peachy tan, but then it's got these hot pink and blue and white spots in it. I am using size US 2.5 Chai Goose with a 40-inch cable, and this is what I have so far. So I just started this Saturday, and I've already got a fair bit of progress. I already have 5 completed teeth. This will have 42 in the end. I think this might count as a tooth. I'm not sure. So I might actually have 6 completed teeth. This didn't start out super strong. but it's getting better each time because, you know, it takes a minute to get back into the groove. I haven't knit anything in quite some time, but I am enjoying this yarn and how it's knitting up. I love this pattern. You kind of get into a groove of knowing what's coming next, and adore. And so I do have another one of her shawls on the docket. I don't want to start it until I finish this one, but that's going to be hard because it's calling to me, especially since the yarn for it came in and the bag for it came in. But yeah, when I purchased the Hitchhiker shawl, I did purchase it off of Ravelry, and you could purchase it, or she had a series of 4. And so I just went ahead because it was actually a better price. I wanted to support the artist. There were 2 I knew I for sure wanted, and a third one that's maybe a little too challenging right now because it's more of a lace look. The 4th one I'm hit or miss on, but it was a better deal to buy the bundle of 4. So there is one other one that I know for sure I want to start, and I will show you the yarn for that here in a minute. So that's all I've worked on. I do think I will continue to show knitting on here, so hopefully some of you will enjoy seeing that and maybe get inspired, or maybe you do knit and maybe you've taken a break like I have from it. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. So I thought I would share in plans, one, ultimately what I decided to focus on for August, and then some of the projects I have coming up over the weekend, and then I'll also pick my 100 stitch bop, my 100 stitch focus piece next week. So in thinking about August, I had, you know, there's Arbitrary August is going on right now, which is a hashtag Arbitrary August, which many people do different ways, but it's basically a lot of people spin a wheel to pick a whip. Some people alternate between small, medium, large. They grade their projects based on size. There's lots of ways to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. I know some people are doing like Autumn August, where they're stitching autumnal things. I think that's awesome. So over the weekend, I think it was on Saturday maybe, I pulled out all of my whips. It was like all over the floor. And I went through every single project bag. I looked at every single whip, and with a discerning eye, and a couple did get UFO'd. They're going to get dekitted and they're done. Actually, 2 of them are mania starts, and I just was not feeling them. And so they're done. Life's too short to stitch something I'm not enjoying. Does it mean I won't pull them back out at some point? No, it means that one of them, I did not like the combination of the fabric and the floss. So I might re-kit that at some time, or I might not. I have so many things that I want to stitch that if it's not truly calling to me, it needs to go out of active. And then if it's been inactive for a while, it needs to just go somewhere out of my sight. And so as I was doing that, I kind of went through and I was like, okay, this is a maybe. This is, I'm not feeling it. This is a no. And then I had some that I was like, ooh, I really want to work on that. So I kind of had a little pile going to the side of, ooh, I really want to work on that. I haven't worked on that in a while. Ooh, I really want to work on that. So in the end, that pile ended up being about enough for 1 per day throughout August. And I was like, okay. So I kind of looked through and figured out exactly which ones I wanted to work on. And I don't think it was quite 31 because I considered pandemic, I had a pandemic start. I had a project I worked on Sunday, and then Monday I had a start, which was Choose Happy. And so really this choice of projects did not start until the 4th. And what I did was I determined, what do all of these projects that I pulled over here, what do they all have in common? Well, they're projects I chose, obviously, and they're ones that in this moment are things that I think will bring me joy to stitch. So I'm calling it Find Your Joy August. it actually would have made more sense had it been Find Your Joy July, because you know you like a little alliteration. But we're doing Find Your Joy August, so I am stitching on things that bring me joy. So and if I pull something out and I'm just not feeling it, or my eyes are tired from the day, kind of with Rosetta, that was what happened. Is Rosetta is one where I really have to be super focused, like hyper focused, because of if you make one mistake, it's going to make the whole like medallion look bonkers. And that's what happened, and it got put away for a while as it happened on the second medallion, and I had to rip out some stitches, figure out which stitches to rip out and how much I had to rip out. Didn't end up being that much, so I guess that's a good example of and lesson in perseverance. However, it went away for a while because of that, and so I kind of like that one. I was like, okay, I may touch back on this later, but I did put some stitches in. I still enjoy it. It's not going anywhere. It just was the day that it came up to stitch was not a good day. And so what I ended up doing is I actually put them all into a wheel, and I went ahead and spun for the whole month. So I know exactly what the daily project is for each day. I do have one more new start because it's one that I wanted to work on, and it is a restart. And so 2 projects did not get worked on as much or at all as I wanted to. So Rosetta popped up on the second day back at work, Tuesday, and I pulled it out. I worked on it a tiny bit, and I was like, I can't. It was just not a good project that day. Wednesday was not good, and I will talk a little bit more about that in Life Update, and that was supposed to be Autumn Drum. And so I do still want to work on that, so I'm going to try to find, you know, an hour chunk or 2 to work on that this weekend. And then I kind of got back on track today. I have not had a chance to stitch on the one that I would like to put some stitches in today. And so I'll talk to you about what Saturday and Sunday are. I'm not going to go any further than that. You'll see those next week. There are some newer things, some things that were manias, some things that were even jolly, joy-filled whippy-lie. And then there are some things that are older. There's some things that are coming up, approaching their 1-year birthday, and they need some love so that maybe they could get finished sooner rather than later. And then looking ahead towards September, I do think my 100 stitch focus pieces are going to be my sampler September. But I don't want to neglect all of my whips just to say, oh, I'm only working on samplers. So I think I'm going to devote 100 stitches for 5 days on my samplers. Some of my samplers, obviously not all of them. And then October, I haven't decided yet. We shall see. I did start this weekend a little bit pulling some projects that I was thinking I might want to start. I know for sure I have one new start on the 9th. More details to come. I'm very excited about it. And it's with a dear, dear, dear Stitchy friend of mine, which I'm so excited. And but then other than that, I have no idea. We'll see. We'll see. So let me pick my 100 stitch bop, and then I will show you some of these other things that are coming this week. So I use the Tiny Decisions app, which is an app you can get in the App Store. I believe it's also on Android. It is free. And I have many different wheels, but this is my 100 stitch bop wheel. So this is my larger projects that I like to try to put focus into. I actually sat down and figured out what essentially a bop is for me, what the stitch count is, and some of these don't belong on here. And right now, I will give myself veto power. I'm just being honest. The wheel is not a dictator right now. It's just not. It's not the Tiny Decisions dictator wheel. So let's see if it picks something that I'm feeling for next week. Prince of Peace. I love that, but I am not feeling that for next week because there's a bit of an error in that. So let's see if it picks something else. Okay, I will work on that. I'm not feeling Christmas right now. I'm not feeling much of anything right now. I'm feeling a bit of a headache right now. I might keep these in mind. Okay, Jane Marshall. The problem is that's going to be worked on in September. This could go on all day. Excuse me, DoorDash. I'm not interested in you. All joys for thine. That's one of my, hold on. That's one of my Find Your Joy pieces. Let me see if that's actually slotted for next week. Because if it is, I'm going to choose again. This could go on forever. I'm going to say no. It doesn't come up for a bit, but I still am going to say no. Let's try one more time. I might have to say this is it. Okay, this one I don't think is in my... Yeah, that's a good one. This one I don't think is part of my Find Your Joy. Not because I just had to cut it off somewhere. But this is Mary Eliza McMillan, 1869. That is a Hands Across the Sea. It probably will get... Well, I don't know necessarily. It might get worked on in September. Actually, it might not. And so that would be good. Because then I can work on it this month. This is all just a make up the rules as you go along kind of a thing. And I do think it's interesting. One of my viewers was very succinct and said, just stop and just stitch on what you like and what brings you happiness. And I was like, that's it right there. And so that's what I'm going to do. Mary Eliza McMillan will bring me happiness next week. I will work on that. And it is on a 36 count color and cotton that is beautiful. And it has a color conversion that I adore. And so I will love stitching on that next week. So yay. So let me show you just real quickly. I'm going to try to get some time into each of these this week. This is a Be Crafty bags. You will also notice that a lot of my bags now have tags. I ran out of tags. I had some, but I didn't have enough. That should tell you something. This is from Cherry Hill Stitchery. This is Bloom. I did actually print out a new picture of this. And which is nice. And this is on a 25 count Lugana from BeStitchMe. I believe this is in the colorway Granite. And I am doing this over 2. So it's big. And I did a conversion on it, so it's brighter. And I adore it so far. So I want to get some more time in it. This is fun. I'm loving stitching like it big. Like over the 25 count, on the 25 count over 2. It's fun. I love, there's some other charts they have that are so cute, but I'm holding off on purchasing any till I finish some more things. This is actually today's chosen piece, and this is Mary's Sampler by Plum Street Samplers, freebie on her website. If you search Mary Sampler Plum Street Samplers, it'll take you directly to the final one of this. It was like a stitch along kind of a thing, so it's 9 parts. But the final one gave the whole final piece. This needle's about to fall out. I don't use needle minders that often. This is on an 18 count mystery die from Mystic Fabrics. It's kind of a blue-gray, and I really don't have much to finish this. I have the insides of these stars. I have a couple more stars up here. The angel's trumpet, and there's not much beyond that. And so this could be a finish before Christmas. Not before its birthday, because its birthday was July 1st. And this lives in a diddly daddle in Hand Stitcher bag. And I'm putting that on the wrong side. I think I'm going to work on that and my shawl tonight. Okay, Autumn Drum lives in this SewMuch2Luv bag. This is an exclusive chart to Acorns and Threads by the Blue Flower. Autumn Drum. I believe they still have them. It is a fully kitted, or it's a kitted kit. It's a kitted kit. It's a kit with the silks. And it has beautiful vintage pecan butter linen in 40 count. And this is where I am right now. See, it's even on the Q-snap because I was going to work on it yesterday and it just did not happen. And it's in a cute squirrel bag. So I'll put that over here. That will get worked on this weekend. And then the other one that I would like to, this was another Find Your Joy. This is from Carolyn Manning Designs. This is one of her shooting stars. This is Opal. And this is in one of those document envelopes from Amazon. And I realized, folks, that that I never sent them out. and I am a rotten human being. They will come to you, I promise. That is on my list of things to do tomorrow. And so if you won one of these, I am so sorry. It just got lost in the melee of things. But they will come. I'm usually so good with giveaways, and so I feel so terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry is not enough, but I am so sorry. And this is on a piece of BeStitchMe 32 count Jobelin in Through the Stones. This was a giveaway win that I had from a Friday night fight night. And I have it marked top left because I did a center start. And this is what I have so far. All that pastel goodness. I am stitching this do over too. It's so fun. So I want to get some more into this. This is kind of really soothing stitching because you can just pick a color and put in some sections and it's repeating. It's very cool. These are super fun. I have some more of these either kitted up or partially kitted up. Not that I have one to start anytime soon. I'm kind of lulling on the start all the things. I'm being honest. I've reached a point where I'm like, got too much. But it was nice to start all the things. Now I'm sitting here going, okay, it was great when you were going to be home all the time. You're not home all the time anymore, girl. You're back at work, and the work is a lot. So anyway, that's plans, that's whips, that's starts, which brings us to some stash. Let me get my bucket and drop some things on the floor. It's joy-filled stashy stash time. So it is joy-filled stashy stash time. So let's see what is in my stash bucket this week. So I did make mention that I did get a bag for my next knitting project. This is another one of those little Amazon totes. Little bags. This is the small size. Again, I will link below. If y'all even care about the links, I don't know. But as you can see, there's a couple of little slip pockets in here. So you could put like a counter, you could put stitch markers, whatever. I do actually have a stitch marker for the hitchhiker. I need to put it on actually, since I've shown you. But I keep them in the zip pocket in the back. So I did get that. I love some 28 count Monaco and Oksana, who I have purchased from before on Stash Unloading, cross stitch only, dyes Monaco, and they're beautiful. And I kind of wanted one that was more neutral, and so I got this one. It's a fat quarter of 28 count Monaco. So, yay. This was a lot of fabric week. I had placed an order quite some time ago for some fabrics from Color and Cotton that I was contemplating using for So She Did, which I've already started, as you know, on that BeStitchMe, the fuchsia BeStitchMe. So these will just go into my stash. I don't know why I bought 32 count Belfast. I'm really not sure, but these are beautiful and they're exciting. So this is Color and Cotton, like I said. This is a 32 count Belfast in rhubarb. Amazing. Freaking amazing. This I did not think was going to be this orange, but I'm obsessed and I need to find something to stitch on it. This is, again, 32 count Belfast. These are both fat quarters. This is papaya. Is that not insanely gorgeous? So pretty. And then this one is a 36 count in ballerina. This is a beautiful neutral. Beautiful neutral. Very, very soft, dusty, softest dusty pink. Beautiful. And again, a fat quarter of that. I just adore. Adore, 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 adore. And my fabric of the month will probably be coming at some point. And I did switch over to the 20 count Aida, so I'm super excited about that. And so yay. Let's show something else besides fabric. So I did get my bag of the month from Garon Tote Bags. I get the 12 by 13, like the medium size bag. And so this is August's bag of the month, and it has this cute sunflower and bird print. And on the inside, it's got musical notes. They come with the project tag, the Garon tag, with the project information you can write on the back. So I get the medium size. So fun. So fun. It's too bad I don't have, it's too bad I have so many bags. Alright, I'll show some more fabric. So I did participate in a Friday night fight night, not last week, but the week before, I believe, with BeStitchMe fabrics, and I got some. There's going to be a little crinkle. I did pre-fold the things, but they're crinkly still. So this is a Linda, 27 count Linda, which is another one of my favorites, and this is one of her newer colorways called Stonehenge. I adore it. It's kind of a dark gray with a little bit of like a tealish undertone, or like a bluish undertone. Love it. Let me put that back in here. So it's a fat quarter of the 27 count Linda. I did go ahead. This was the fabric of the month for July, the neutral colorway, which is blush. I went ahead and got, this is a 32 count lugana, a fat quarter of blush, which is a really pretty light pink, because I thought that would be really pretty for a mirror of some kind. And mirrors are often charted on 32, so when I saw the blush, I was like, yep, me please. And then another one of her newer colorways is Badlands, and this is another 27 count, and this is so cool. This reminds me of something that like would be in National Treasure or something like that. So very cool modeling in certain areas. It kind of reminds me of marble. So anyway, got a fat quarter of that. Again, this is the 27 count Linda, which is also what I get my fabric of the month in. And this month, I'm getting fabric of the month and silks of the month. So I cannot wait to share those. And I won another giveaway. My lucky day. And the giveaway that I won, I'm so excited. I got a 32 count lugana in the Stonehenge. So gray is my favorite. Those of you that have been with me for a while will know that I love a good gray. That is probably my most favorite neutral. And so, yes, amazing. Stonehenge, amazing. And I might have last week also placed an order because she introduced 20 count Aida. I think she must have heard my cries. My cries of, please, Brandy, carry 20 count Aida. And so I ordered pretty much a cut of 20 count Aida in all my favorites. Not Stonehenge, because it wasn't on the website yet. Yep, I did. Yep, I did. I can't wait for them to come. So I will be probably destashing some, but I will probably, I'm anticipating, this is what I'm thinking. I would love to say that I will do a destash around Labor Day, and it will be a big one. There will be project bags, there will be fabric. I don't know so much about floss, but possibly floss or possibly silks. Charts, there will be charts in there. There might even be some kitted things. There might even be some with minimum starts, like a little bit of a start. Yep, so that's on my Instagram. I did go ahead and buy the Color and Cotton Ghosties and Gourds Banner Year thread pack that Color and Cotton is offering on their website. And so it comes with the 6 skeins needed. And I don't stitch Halloween, but I want to stitch this. And I have an idea for them, but I'm not going to share. It's a secret because I have to decide if I really want to do it or not. But I have an idea. So I'm excited about these colors. Look how pretty. And I love the green. It's Kermit by Picture This Plus. And I think it's so cute. I just need to get the chart to enact my plan. Alright, so I got 2 more things to show, and that's it. And I bit the bullet after seeing Hello from Liz Matthews talk about this, and then Brenda and Laura talked about this, and so I purchased it on Amazon. It's the Antiquarian sticker book. It is incredible. Incredible. Incredible, incredible. Pages and pages of some of the coolest, uniquest, funkiest stickers. I mean, like, look at those penguins. But they're on a page with these fancy ladies. And then this lady's like being hypnotized. It's just very cool. And so I got some of these to maybe go in my finishing journal, in my planner. And I like how like even the back of the sticker pages is awesome. So super cool. I will say that when I ordered it, it told me I wasn't even going to be able to get it until like August the 17th or something. And then I got a notification that was like, oh, by the way, it will be delivered on August 4th. So that was kind of cool. And then I literally sat one night when I was just feeling I was done. I didn't want to pull out any projects. And I looked through every page. And it was just so cool to see all the different things. Now, I don't super love that there's snakes in here. Not going to lie. But, like, it's got even some of these. Like, that's going to make me, like, go hypnotized here in a minute. So I don't want to get in trouble for hypnotizing you. But there's cool moths and turtles and... Like, what is up with this cat? What is up with this cat right here? That cat has seen a lot and has a story to tell. And it's an interesting one. Yeah. So, if you are a sticker person, you do junk journaling, you do journaling of any kind, you just want something pretty to look at and something fun to look at, there you go. It's on Amazon. I'll link it below. I got one more thing to show, and I alluded to this the last video that I did place an order with Knit Picks for some yarn. And I got some of their Hawthorne fingering weight yarns. So I got 2 skeins, and each of these have what? 357 yards. So I got 2 skeins of Skyline, which I think is this beautiful greeny blue. Sometimes if you have the white next to it, it gives you a really good impression. So this is Hawthorne. That's what they call this. It's like a super twist, but it is very soft. It is super wash fine Highland wool and polyamide. So it is machine wash cold, tumble dry low. So that's even really nice that, like, whatever you make with it, it's a good squish. It's got a good squish. So I got 2 of Skyline. I did actually get the same, I'm loving the fingering for the shawls. So I am planning to stitch one for my mom. She loves reds, oranges, and pinks. Well, if this isn't just perfect. This is, again, the Hawthorne, and this is in the colorway Hayden. Is that not beautiful? Look at that. Looks just so, like, lush. And I love the variegation of the oranges, the pinks, almost like a magenta. So pretty. And then this is the one that I'm going to be using for my other shawl that is going to go in that bag. And it's the same, it's Hawthorne, and this is called Lintz. Is that not so cool? Love it. I love it, I love it. So pretty. So, needless to say, this Hawthorne comes in about a bajillion amazing colorways, and I had to really rein myself in to pick just these 3. And I might have also purchased a knit advent calendar from a seller on Etsy called Treehouse Knits, I believe. They are out of Austin, Texas. And I actually am going to, I saw when I was on there doing, it's a pre-order. It's 24 mini skeins and then 1 full skein, 1 full like hank. It is expensive, but it is my gift to me. I went ahead when I was looking at that and decided she does like a monthly mystery skein, and so I do want to get that one because I loved her picture she showed for the August one, and there was another colorway I wanted to get, so I might be getting those soon, and I'll share the quality and stuff. But again, fingering is kind of where my sweet spot is right now for the shawls and things like that, and I've kind of already got an idea in my head of the pattern I want to do for with my advent yarns. Not the large skein, but the mini skeins, I do already kind of have an idea of what I want to do, and I'm excited about it. So anyway, work went actually fairly well this week. Monday was good. I mean, we've had a lot of meetings. We are doing social distance meetings, so we have been meeting in the gym with tape 6 feet apart. And we were instructed to bring a chair, a camping chair of some kind. And so everybody had their camping chair. We had our laptops and, water or coffee or whatever. And we were to wear our masks unless we were, taking a drink of water or whatever. And so Monday we had some trainings in the morning, and the afternoon was work time, which was nice because, that was the first day that I was in a mask for like an extended period of time. We are expected to wear our masks when we are traveling place to place, or if we are in a location where we cannot social distance. If I'm in my classroom by myself, I can take my mask off, which is nice. I will not have as much mask off time once kids come back, because I have kids almost the whole day, in and out. Tuesday was more meetings in the morning, and then in the afternoon was more work time. Wednesday, we had meetings in the morning, and I had a full-blown anxiety attack in the middle and had to get up. Praise for the person that was not part of our meeting, who saw something was wrong, and kind of sprung into action. Like, what do you need? Do you need water? Do you need to sit? Do you need this? Do I need to call somebody? Do I need this? And just being there and knowing that there's somebody with me. Thankfully, I was able to do what I needed to do. I was having a hard time remembering my strategies, so my counselor has a number I can text. I texted her, and she immediately sprung in and started walking me through some of our strategies, and I was able to, between that and extra support of things that I take, my kind of rescue, I was able to come out of it. I walked a bit, and I was not able to go back into the meeting. I kind of wandered down there, was listening, and then I wandered back away. And it's okay, because I was able to get concisely the information I needed to garner from that meeting. I tried to attend a different breakout session later on, and then I think it was an overstimulation thing, truly, because I'm so used to being just me, Joyfield Little One, Mr. Joyfield, just our little small unit. So being in a large space, lots of information, it wasn't necessarily all information that pertained to me, and so it wasn't applicable, and it was a lot. Thursday was the day I thought was going to be the hardest, because there was a lot about protocols and safety and leave and things like that, but I actually did very well on Thursday. I had a great night's sleep on Wednesday night. I was so zonked that I had a great night's sleep. And then today went well. Today I had absolutely nothing on my agenda, so I spent the day getting in contact with my students' parents, because I have the same kids year to year if they haven't moved to the upper school. And so getting in contact with them, seeing how they're doing, wanting to know their intentions moving forward this year. So that was nice. We are still touring families to see if they want to enroll. Joyfield Little One got to find out who her teacher was, and her teacher came in, and she was just so excited. Oh, the joy on her face, so excited. The team is fantastic. I had no qualms about any of the teachers she got. I'm thrilled with who she got, but any of them would have been amazing. And she's literally right across the hall from me, literally. So if that is not going to be a true treasured blessing this year, of all years, for her to literally, my door faces her classroom door, so I can know just exactly where she is, and she can know exactly where I am, and we are close, and which is great, because she's a hugger, and so her teacher already knows she can pop in and give me a hug, and we're gonna be okay with that, because we're about taking care of the whole child. So we have one more week in trainings and things like that. Now this next week there is more we'll have families on campus. Friday is actually kind of cool. We're having a whole grade level come do a mock drop off, and then they're going to walk through some of their in the building procedures with their class, so they'll get to see all their people in their class. How do you come in? What do you do with your things? All of that. And then after about an hour, we'll do a mock carpool pickup. The only thing that means is on Friday, just be prepared for me to be a complete stinking hot mess, because in the past 3 years, I've only been just a fill-in carpool line person. Oh no, I am full-time every single day of the week. So I'm going to be in and out of the building on Friday like 8 times. Because I'm going to be doing the drop-off part, but I'm at the door inside for drop-off. But for pickup, I'm going to be at the awning, loading kids in cars. And I'm going to be doing it for a lot of grade levels. Because we go pre-K through, and I don't do pre-K drop-off. So I have K through 6. Mm-hmm. It's going to be awesome. Actually, I'm kind of excited because it gives me something to do on that Friday. And I will be tired on Friday, but I will be fulfilled and tired. And that's the thing that I've said throughout this whole week. And I know some of you have done such the wonderful thing and you've checked in on me. I've received emails this week. I've received DMs over on Instagram. People just saying, how's it going? I'm praying for you. I'm thinking about you. And the one thing that I have shared with just about everybody is that I am tired, but it's a good tired because I am fulfilled. I'm not getting much stitching done, but I'm not getting much stitching done, but that's okay. That will come with the routine and with the structure. That was a low battery warning, but it looks like I'm still filming, so that's good. But yeah, so thank you so much. I felt the positive energy. I felt it, and it was so helpful, especially in those moments that were starting to feel filled with trepidation. There were not that many, but there were a few throughout the week. It got better as the week went on. Joy-filled little one has had an absolute blast being in the staff kids care with some of the other staff kids. She loved to come home and recount her day, her adventures. Briefly, I will tell you that a couple of the highlights that just had me in stitches were her sharing with me that one of the little boys who's going into 4th grade, we have a creek that runs through the middle of the big playground, was putting toads in his water bottle. To which I responded, well, does his mom know that he did that? And she goes, I don't know. They rinsed it out. I said, well, did he drink toad water? Yeesh. And she responded, well, I don't know because I didn't get that close, because you know what happens when you get too close. She knows because she has on more than one occasion slid into the creek and ended up with mud all the way up her back and into her hair. Yeah, she didn't get too close to the creek and that stinky water. It's not really a creek. It's just like a standing dribble. It's a creek when it rains. Well, it hadn't rained in a really long time. Anyway, so that was the toads. And then today she was being a helper and carrying a cardboard box to the recycle bin and fell down some little stairs onto some concrete and ripped like her whole shin apart. But she was being a trooper. She was hobbling around with this scuffed up shin, and she went to the nurse because we have a licensed registered nurse on our campus, and got patched up. Had a big old band-aid. Didn't even cover it all. Like the biggest band-aid. It's like this big of a band-aid. Didn't cover all of it. So yeah. She's played hard. She's been tired. We have enjoyed just in the evenings coming and we sit on the same love seat. She sits literally right here. And just enjoying our time together in the evenings. And so we literally sit and just are with each other. And then usually it's 6:30 before I even pick up something crafty related. And then 7:30 is bedtime routine and 8 o'clock to bed. And there have been nights this week that I did not make it much longer than she did. And that's okay. It will come with time. But it is a blessing to be back. And I'm hoping that we can stay open as long as humanly possible, because these kids need to be back in person. Our numbers are still not great, but I really do feel like they're putting in place a lot of great plans. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my Teresa Kogut Angel Kindness card for the week. And it's this beautiful red-headed angel with this turquoise halo and these beautiful like rustic white wings. And it says, life isn't always easy, but a positive attitude mixed with prayer and gratitude will determine how quickly we overcome difficulties. And so this is something I have clung to this week. I think that whether you take away the part about prayer, not everybody is prayerful in this life, and that is your choice. But having a positive attitude, having a sense of gratitude for what you have, for your health, for whatever it is in that moment, helps us to get through those tough spots. And I know that some people are going through more tough spots than others. I've been in the deepest of the deep within the last few months, and I'm finally starting to see come out of that valley. But I'm not out yet, and you can always slide back in, just like my daughter, into the creek and get mud all in your hair. And so that's okay. It happens. That's life. Life is not always going to be a straight plane. So with that, I think I will bid you a wonderful week ahead, and happy stitching and or knitting or crafting or diamond painting or whatever you do. And so I will say, so long, stitch well. I'll see you soon, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, and I'll see you next week.